Right, hello. This is the branch vlog for 0.2.4.5 to do with the sound effects. So you can see here on the right, there's quite a big list. Let me just go to monitor mode. There you go. Quite a big list. So I will work through it now. Top to bottom, bugs first. Yeah, so top one, projectiles need to be tweaked to avoid overlap. Uh, yes, there was an issue where as you fired the projectiles, there was a chance that they would fire so fast that they would cancel each other out, which sounds crazy, but if I show you what I'm talking about. So, this is the projectile, right? Let me zoom in for you. The whole thing's the projectile. That's the casing, that's the bullet. The casing falls down, the bullet goes forward, so it's like that. Other way, because it's mirrored on the camera. But the casing falls slow, the bullet fires fast. So the second bullet on a full auto fires so fast that its bullet catches the first casing's collision. So, and I have on hit destroy actor. So the second bullet was destroying the full first projectile because it was going on impact. So I just tweaked it to fire a little bit slower, but also I tweaked some of this setup. I can show you later on if you need it. Next one, fall through floor on re-entrance of first level loaded. Yeah. Oh, this was a little while ago. Let me think. This. Well, I'm popping up and so this was to do with when you first play the game. You see me if I click on this one. You look on the bottom. Look, I'm pointing on the screen, but that's not helpful. Here, you look there. Game start. When you start the game fresh, it's looking for the player start tag. Game start. When you go to the next level, it is looking for the next level's names, which you see I've done here. These are like enum drop downs. So you can see it's the same door. This is to the bathroom. So you enter the bathroom. You see where I'm highlighting. Enters into the bathroom. It exits, and what's the entering player start? Well, there's only one. It's just the bathroom one. You exit to the left of the player bedroom, which is here, because you see it's the left door of this bedroom, and it's the left player start. So this one. The issue was if you started in any other level, like you just loaded up a level and press play, it would look for game start, can't find it, load you up at 000, so XYZ, so these coordinates, like imagine 000, and it would just fall through the floor. That's that one. Exit logic needs flipping doors. Yeah, so let's play this. Pay attention to door frame. Door frame's on the right. Door frame's on the right. Door frame's on the left. Door frame's on the left. And then back on the right. Somewhere in between everything I was doing, it it was working, but it was working through illogical chance. So like I've set up a branch and it just happened to be working, but it didn't make sense. Like it worked, but it was like two negatives, like cancel each other out sort of thing. Enemies do not enter death animation until collided. This was, as you can see, I've been quite busy, even though it's a sounds one. This related to, I need blueprints, character, enemy. This related to the death animation needing to trigger, but it wasn't triggering until the collision, which is an overlap. So until you bumped into this. And this was because I can't remember exactly, but this code wasn't following a pattern. Essentially, like, you've reached 0, you're dead. That's fine. But then this code wasn't correctly going to the on death you see here, which then does the death code. So it was almost waiting for you to recollide, trigger this, and yeah, I can't remember for exactly, but it was something to do with the code wasn't it was stopping abruptly. Reload animation does not trigger. This was to do with old school reload. I used to have here it is. Oh, this is not good. I can't remember properly. Reload didn't trigger. Well, the reload happened, but the animation didn't happen. It was something to do with the animation blueprint code. If I pick this one, this selector, they overcomplicated it, and it wasn't behaving as expected. So you'll see reloads are like 5, 15. Wait, no, brain. Reloads are 5, 15, and yeah, oh yeah, because I've only got 2 guns at reload at the moment, because I've only got 2 guns. But yeah, and shotgun be 25, and then enforcement rifle and be 35. It was just not hitting the right number, because it wasn't going, the branch wasn't working correctly. Crippled, maroon, it's essentially color, like maroon coloured and green coloured t-shirt, invisible. This was a issue with the sprite. If I could just get you it. So we're on zombie 3.3. We on crippled time, raw, maroon. I'll show you. Here, this is an overlay. So you see the damage is an overlay. The like zombie medical aren't overlays, but then I thought, well, why don't I just overlay the thing and you get progressively more damaged? Just see something for me to clean up. But with it being an overlay, um, I put the overlay on, but I didn't do the rest of the head. So it had like the eyes and the mouth and like the blood and the splatter, but it didn't have like the rest of like neck upwards. So I just had to essentially add in the skin for the rest of the head. Misaligned sprites for death. Right, okay, so I won't go through all of them, but I went through every single enemy, and there's an element where this is pretend to be dead. They're dead. They're not true dead. They can, if they have the ability to resurrect, this is how they will look before they resurrect this bit, and then that's the resurrection. It's literally a really basic version 1 example of it's just these 3 sprites at the top: fake death, feign death, resurrect. And between this and them being on the floor and then you shooting them in the head, which is these two, it moved like a shift and left. So like a group of pixels to the left. So as you shoot them, the body kind of goes like that. So it's not where it needs to be. Did that for all of them. Did the same for Human Husk. That was the first one I saw it happened on, and then I thought, I'll just go through everything. So identical behavior, identical fix. No legs on jump for Protagonist up. Yeah, when I redid the Protagonist to 3.3, it was all other, or I think it was Pistol. This one, I just forgot to copy and paste the legs. So when he jumped up, that bit, his legs just disappeared. So that's all that one was, nice and simple. Resurrected zombies, not correct animations set. Yeah, so just like the main player has an animation blueprint selector, so does the zombie one. So just badly injured, it does a just badly injured animation, just injured animation. If badly injured, dead, brain dead, or brain dead on the floor, 20 plus the style. So if you've got no styles, it's just a single enemy, that's 20. If you've got an enemy with a maroon t-shirt and a green t-shirt, that's 20 and 21. Because you see, the style number is 1 or 0. Because it starts at 0 rather than 1 and 2, it's 0 and 1. So this wasn't behaving as expected, and they were coming back. They were resurrecting, but then they resurrected with their just injured animation set, not the not the badly injured and animation set with the 20s, which is like, essentially significant more damage. A bit like Wolfenstein, as he gets more damage, or Doom, his face gets worse. It was essentially resurrecting them with the wrong level of visual damage. So fix that one by just sorting this out. Player moves when dead. Yeah, so originally I had it all working off this blueprint. Um, Movement for John, the protagonist, was this blueprint. Simple as that. I then moved it to player controller, and I'm in the process of moving everything. But you can see we've got like the input here. We've got whether you're looking left or right, whether you're running or you're walking, sound effects, and then we've got things like enhanced input. Essentially, I did enhanced input, but I migrated from input action to enhanced input. Or I'd say I'm about well underway on that migration. And these used to be on the player, on the main blueprint. Now they're on the player controller. So when you die, I needed to tweak it. I was doing things like, okay, so stop player character movement, um, like disable movement and things like that. And it did work in a way, but not properly. And then I thought to myself, why don't I just go to the source and just say, if you're dead, you see where I'm highlighting, I added this bit in, if you're dead, then don't move. And he just doesn't move, because obviously when he's dead it ticks true. This breaks, does false, nothing happens, doesn't move. So went to source, just made it real nice and straightforward. Didn't need to disable movement. I literally just disable the ability to move, rather than doing things like disable. Rather than doing things like this, disable movement, character movement, and all that sort of stuff, or stop character. I literally just make the controller not work. Zombie medical black alt roam, yes. So all the enemies work on animation blueprints. Let me get an animation blueprint for you. Down one. Animation blueprint. We go top right to animation. So this is the animation source. There is another way to get to it. It's just this. These are like twinned. So you'll see like on these, like the hunt, the first. Essentially, this is eight sprites. So 0 to 7, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alt black, zombie medical alt black had 9 sprites. So it was just running one too many sprites. I accidentally pulled in an injured at the start. So it would flash injured, and then it would go to the badly injured roam, and then it'd flash injured. So just one too many sprites. Reload stops movement. Yep. Now I have it where if you're reloading, you stand still. New zombie attack sounds. I'll play all this. Actually, I'll try and do all the sounds one by one. Actually, it might be easier. So bear with me a second. Playing around with it. So attack sounds. I'll get him to attack me.
Hey, you.
Of course, he chooses to look the other way.
Hey,
for the first time in ages. So attack sound, hair sound. Let's do it systematically through it.
Hey.
Resurrection sound. Let me force this one to resurrect actually. Let me do dead, true, dead on start, but not brain dead. Can resurrected, yes. Let me check the resurrection chance. 25%. Okay, so we might need to load it up a couple of times. Nope. Actually, I think I put a timer on it as well, so it might take a bit of time. Let's do resurrect 1 second. 100% chance. There you go. The reason why it was half sprite is because I just need to refresh it because that's a zombie medical one. But that's more just to do with Unreal being funny and needing to refresh it. Not, I've actually drawn the full picture. Okay, hunt sounds. So this is hunt is when they see me and they are moving. If you look on the, I might not see it on this one. Let me resurrect him. Right. Should come alive in a second. Right. Look on the left. See zombie idle queue. We're looking for hunt.
Hey, over here. Hey.
That's walking. Hunt doesn't always trigger.
Hey, you.
Otherwise he'd be making loads of noise constantly. Right. Idle. Walking. Hunt. There you go. You see it triggers there. Might tweak hunt a little bit. We'll see. Zombie idols. You've seen zombie idle, haven't you? But let's show you again. Make sure he gets back up. Come on. Alright, 1 sec. Oh, why don't I just make him not dead? Silly me. Dead. Not dead. Can you hear it? Right. Zombie idle. Need to refactor this, but it works for now. Every time his directionality is still, so 0, so equals nothing. Look at the velocity essentially. I'm looking at movement, and if the movement equals 0, true, then I have a random float. And if that random float, so decimal number, that random decimal number between 0, 0.0 and 1.0 is greater than 0.99, so essentially it needs to hit 1. It needs to hit between 0.99 and 1.0. If it is greater than that, then and you're not attacking, then play the idle sound, and that's why the idle sound doesn't play constantly. There'd be a simpler way to do it. I probably don't need a float. I probably could do an int, but I just wanted to play around with the numbers. NPC walk sounds, right? So this might sound a bit bananas because there's quite a lot of NPCs walking around, but it will prove the point. They're all walking at the same time, so it's in uniform. That's why it sounds weird. Door sounds. Right. I created a door sound when you plays the open door when you press it, and then it plays the closed door when you load up the new level. You'll see what I mean. See? Draw sounds. Yep.
Hey.
Wrong thing. If you listen. It's that one. Computer sounds. So there's a few others. Did you hear him type it? And then yeah, that one. Refactor closed door happens. Yeah, I've done that. Because you can't do closed door sound in the transition level because it'll do the closed door sound before it's loaded up the level. So I did it the classic Resident Evil way. So the closed door is when you've entered the room. Switch sounds. Again, I'm just going to blast through these now.
Hey. Over here. Hey.
Didn't mean to press that again. Inventory sounds. This was my backpack. Gun sounds. Right, okay. So, I have... These are version 1, so these are not perfect, but I've got everything in place to just then tweak it. So, we have a fire sound, which isn't great. You'll also hear there's a casing sound. When that hits the floor, it plays the casing sound. There's reload sound. And that's it for now. So that's the kinetic sounds. If I go through them now, I won't show any audio is going through then. Alright, okay. So I have recorded several different types of sounds. So I've got like the casing dropping on the carpet, turn up them, the casing dropping on like a metal floor. So eject, insert, reloading, like as if you're reloading single rounds in. For crafting, I haven't set that up yet though. And then just random noises, placeholders. So these all go into these queues, and then you have this where these are just all the different metal sounds. They're not very loud because otherwise it's overbearing when you're shooting quite a bit. So the casings won't last long because the casings get destroyed when the projectile gets destroyed. The projectile gets destroyed when it hits something. So if you look at the wall, you go closer. So I do need to potentially look at making the casings persist longer than the destruction, because obviously we don't want it to fall halfway or be alright that way. If I do full auto, you'll hear all the casings. Try and go further so you can see them bounce more. Right, so that's that. Enemy walk sounds, you've already heard them actually, so but what I can do is I'll show you where I store them. So I've got sounds here. These are, at the moment, it's just generic walk sound, generic hurt sound. It's very quiet though, again, because I don't want it to be overbearing on top of like your walking sound and the others walking sounds. So at some point I will change it at the child level, so like The split head zombie will have a different heart sound to a normal zombie. Tweaked sound volume to intro. Yeah, so when you play it, that's not as loud. That's not as loud. When it eventually loads, it says all this bit, and then when we play it, the game music isn't as loud. Can't remember what I wrote. I'm not reading it. It might change, so it's technically not proper spoilers. See, there's some quirk that I've done on new bug, but you hear the music's not very loud. So that's that. The error, you can't see it. Error on the bottom right is due to something not loading at the right time, and that's why you saw first-person camera at first. Initial death and enemy death sound effects, yes. So placeholders, might as well play it. So we've got this one. So that's like you shot them in the head, and you're like death sound. That's just generic death one. So it is all set up. It does play. If I show you, rather than just showing you through playing, I'll show you the code on death. Play sound at location. What sound? Death sound. Which then means, because I do the child inheritance of it, I can overwrite DC instance editable. So the child copy, the child instance of this master enemy blueprint, I can overwrite this to whatever death sound I want, and then it will just plug in. Otherwise, if I just did it like that with a generic sound, I'd need to. Well, I wouldn't have a variable to instant edit each instance. I'd almost need to just override it, which would be terrible. So tweaked player damage check code. Yeah, I noticed that you might see this. You could do like F9, and that'll do a breakpoint. So when, let's say, if I do F9 there, when my character dies and it runs the death code, it will get to this bit, and then you can do F11, and it will bounce through each one. So if I put my thing up, it will kind of go that one, then that one, then that one, then that one, and and then it'll go to here, and then it'll go like that one to that one to that one to that one, things like that. It would show the logical progression, like the lineage of all the code. I noticed when doing this, when I was looking at that death, freezing the death before I froze it at play controller with this, I noticed that it was still doing extra cycles of running the code to see if he was being damaged, extra cycles of this any damage and things like that. So in tweaking that to just stop it here, I also managed to trim out some of these code building blocks to stop it essentially running unnecessary code, so saving a few ticks, or I guess like cycles of processing. Player death sound, nothing special. I saved it as I bet. There we go. It's right in front of me. This. Oh, it's a placeholder. There is technically 3 death sounds and to 1 queue. Random number generator. Jump sound. You might notice I haven't done variables for these. I just plug them in. That's because there's only ever going to be one U. So I don't need to do variable instance editable. Jump is around here, but there we go. Always bigger than I remember with the jump thing. So you started off real small, and then I had to say like, don't jump if you're aiming, reloading, not got enough stamina, jumping, or jumping already, and toggleable weapon. And you haven't got the storage widget open. Very specific. Can't jump while you've got dresses open. Then there's this one. Up, up, I'll just show you what it looks like. Just up, 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 up. You know, nothing special. Oh, card sounds. I had fun doing this one. Playing around with it. I'll let me load up a test level. My favorite is when you have a test level and you come back to it after upgrading it and the stuff works. So we have two swipe sounds. We have a can you see it? Let me zoom in on this one. We have a red symbol, even though it's not proper red on the recording, and we have a green symbol for when you have the correct card. If I do it now, oh, I've hit the door. Slide in the card. Oh yeah, I'll talk about that one after. Got the card. Bin the card. I quite enjoyed doing it. Really simple. I'll show you quickly. Card reader. Here you go. At the end of interact has the key delay, and it has the key true. Okay, then good card. Good, noise. Bad card. And then at the beginning of interact, swipe sound. It's a cue because there's. There you go. That's it. Nice and simple. Collect item sound. Absolutely nothing special. Again, if you listen closely. Nothing. Again, a lot of these are placeholders. If you see initial, then that's why the sound seems more basic. Tweaks to the computer widget. Oh, I had a bit of fun on the computer one. Let me show you it. We're nearly done. So, computer widget. Which one should I talk about first? Computer blueprint. Right, so blueprint. I got it to do the computer typing sound. You can only slightly hear it because some of these are going to be like subtle sounds. Do that, make it do that if you've logged in, you're logging off, you've closed the computer, it's locked. So essentially, like you're trying to use it and it's locked. You're still pressing the keys. You've logged in. So that's that. If I go up to it, you can see it typing. I pressed 2 because I know how to unlock it. It's like a brute force unlock. Again, there's that. I also did this. If you listen closely, the noises you heard before were me pressing a bunch of keys, like 3 random sound effects of me tapping a bunch of keys. Then later on, I pressed a bunch of keys singly and I glued them together. So now when I hold this key, it will sound like I'm typing in a keyboard, but essentially it's a bunch of these separate sound effects just all doing random on the cue. Obviously, and I never factored into account someone having an endless password, so I do need to put something else in, a restraint now. One second, limit key to text box. Pop that there, and I'll do an issue for after. This is why these are useful for me. We have the widget itself, so this is the blueprint, but we have the actual computer widget, which I believe is under law because I like to confuse myself. I did. Did I? There we go. When you're inputting text into this bottom right, it now does sound effects. So if I play it, I go here, I go that, I think it's John and sausages. Did it let me in? No. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I think I've upset it. Right, for some reason I've lost the little smiley face thing now, so I need to look at that. But on the bottom right, I think I need to change it to the single key one, but that's fine. Single key noise, which I might be able to do now while you're looking. Oh no, no, it is the single key noise, ignore me. So that's the computer widget, and then we have the computer login widget. So I've got it to hide the password. There you go, you see the little thing that says password. Says is password there, so it does that. I also just got it to justify in a certain way so it stays in the middle, but you see it's aligned, so it's nice and tidy. So if you deleted user or the password, these should all still stay nice and tidy. Again, just computer sound effect on editable text, and typing things in. Animation for good, bad, missing. It's because the reason why the smiley face and the sad face is gone when right password, wrong password, it's to do with I tweaked it because it was kind of instantly saying you had the wrong password, and I clearly got it working, but only under a certain unit test, like a logical scenario, not all of them. Key press sound effects, so you've seen those. Audio, sound effects, computer. So bunch of keys, bunch of separate keys. So see, and they all just fuse together like that. Sometimes I tweak it so on the enemies walking and stuff, I have the concurrency overridden to say only do one at a time, or like a zombie mode noise, only do one at a time. And whether I get it to stop the old one, start the new one, or wait for the old one to finish. So there are some extra tweaks you can do with the cues, rather than just doing it to like a many sound effects to one output. Knife effects, not. I've got the knife sprites and flipbook, but I haven't got the damage or anything else done yet. But again, nothing fancy. A couple of sound effects. Put in holsters. It's actually a candle. So as you can imagine, I was doing camera and I'm doing movements, but the camera's not on. And last one, food and drink effects, just to wrap it up. Currently 1 can, 3 eat things, and that's. I'll put the thing on. That's that. That's this one. Version 1 sounds. Next, I've rearranged it to do music. Next, then we'll do Act 2 and Act 3 items. Currently, we have Prologue fleshed out with like at least a V1, V2 sets of items, a couple of V3s. V4's finished product, so V3 is pre-polish, 4 is polish, 2 is refactor, 1 is initial. So Prologue is full of V2s and V3s. Act 1 is full of V1s and V2s, a couple of V3s. Act 2 and Act 3, I've made the levels, I've made a bunch of the items, but I haven't essentially put it all together to make an actual level. I've just made I made the static mesh, the 3D shell for the level, and all the bits and pieces. But like um like that's the level. I've currently just got the separate bits and pieces I need to put together for Act 2 and Act 3. So that's what that one will be, as well as the doors. So it'll take a bit longer. Before I do that, I want to do some newer music, play around with the music. But yeah, that's that. Thank you for your time. Probably be a couple of weeks because I'm going to give it a good go. Play with loads of different types of music. If you just want to see a brief opener into how I've got it at the moment, if I go to save, game instance, music, where are you? Play music. This is before data assets and before I went on my rampage of eradicating as many structs as possible because I don't hate them. I've lost a lot of uniquely prepared variables because I've changed something in a struct or it's just not saved right. Data assets don't do that to me. So this is a struct and you see I have quiet pace, tense pace, vibration sort of pace, just slightly different noises. That's the music. I just played around with loads of music last year. Inside here I have if you're injured and it's less than 100%, then play tense music, like a random. If I've got 5 tense musics, pick one, play it. That's the music playing. Music is playing. The reason why I do the variable is to say, all right, now stop this music playing. Otherwise, it's harder to stop a present thing going. It's easier if you've logged a variable of what's playing. So yeah, oh there we go. Less than 100%. Okay, and less than 25%. So this is proper poor quality code. Proper V1, then do 10th. But if you're injured and badly injured, play tense music. If you're injured but not badly injured, play vibration sort of music. The numbers are wrong. Again, this is another reason to have variables. Badly injured, I think, is not 25% health anymore. But I can't remember. But if I go to the music so you can see what I'm talking about, it should be in assets, audio, music, fight, no. Ambient, here we go, things like this. Now you can hear it. I can't remember half these. Most of these I even set up. You know, I really do like the intro one. I'm quite pleased with myself on that one. I always thought that sounded real good when I listened to it even recently. You can probably start to feel like Resident Evil 1, 2 sort of nostalgia, at least I hope you do. Not that one so much. Not that one, but more sort of like these. Let's see what the ending ones are. Sorry. But yeah, that's it. So they're the version 1s that I did. When did we even do them? Let's find it for you before we finish the video. Ambient music, September 2024. And probably a bit before then somewhere. That was me doing all the levels and the armor. So all this. Now we are going to be doing V2. And the way I see it is these V1s, and they're not terrible. Most of them. So I'm hoping I can really get stuck in. Equally, I've got a piano, like a 77 key, not an 88 key one. It's like, where I think it's 77. I've got analog to digital, so I've got analog output into my PC's digital USB. So I've got like these synthesizer. Not only do I don't need to use my little MIDI player like I used on this, I can, hopefully you can hear me while this thing's playing, you know. I can actually use this with this synthesizer. So I can make some real cool music now. But that's it. Thank you for your time. Next one will be music. See you later.